These are the essential pieces of kit that the MBUK team cannot ride without. From weird gadgets to pucker clothing and even some mid-ride nutrition you wouldn't expect. Let us know your trail essentials in the comments. I'll start with my Park AWS 10, which costs £13 or $11. Just a humble blue multi-tool, I hear you say? Does it have a secret compartment or a hidden CO2 inflator? Well, no, but let me tell you just how special this little tool really is. I've coached some really fast racers and worked as a World Cup race mechanic to some even faster ones, and this little tool is one thing I would never be without. For over 2 decades, a Park AWS 10 has lived in my back pocket, and here's why. It's small, it's compact, it's ergonomic, and it's incredibly robust. It's not only extremely useful, but also very well constructed and designed. You can get enough torque from it for almost every job, and even as the primary tool for a full-time bike shop or race mechanic, of which I've been both, you can use it for years with almost no wear at all. It contains Allen keys from 2 up to 6mm, including a 2.5mm, which is often missing from many tools, but is important for parts like lock-on grip collars and the set screws on mechs. Okay, an 8mm would be useful, but if you need an Allen key as large as that, you'll probably need more leverage than this tool can offer anyway. You could upgrade to the Park AWS 11, which includes an 8 and a 10mm. But you lose the 2 and 2.5mm Allen keys in the process, and it's a whopping 246 grams, to the AWS 10's pocket-friendly weight of 103 grams. If you feel you need a T25 Torx key, then you can get yourself a Park AWS 9.2 instead. But honestly, I would really miss the 2, 2.5 and 3mm that this tool forgoes to get your T25 and your flathead screwdriver instead. I could talk all day about these tools, but instead I'll hand over to MBUK staff writer Rach and her even more interesting ride essential.
I'm a creature of habit, so there's a few things that I rarely ride without. First up are these 100% Brisker cold weather gloves. I may be from Scotland and I've seen my fair share of low temps, but the cold really does get to me, so keeping my hands warm and functioning is essential. They find the perfect balance between dexterity and warmth, and the top of the glove is made from an insulated soft shell, which does an excellent job of keeping the cold at bay, while the palm is made from a lightweight alternative to leather, with a silicone print for good grip. They are priced at £31.99 or $34.50, which isn't the cheapest, but they are well worth the cost. And I've had these gloves for over a year and they're still going strong. 9 times out of 10 you can use your phone with the gloves on, but occasionally you do have to discard the gloves to use your screen. If it's too cold to take a glove off for a sec, then it will be too cold to be stopping for that Instagram shot anyway. Next up is my Garmin Edge 530, which you can get for around £259.99. Since I've begun training for cross-country racing, I rarely leave the house without this. Paired with my heart rate monitor, it keeps track of how I'm doing and I can download all my training sessions onto it. I'm getting into long distance exploratory mountain biking, so it's essential to route finding and planning. It has its flaws. It's a laborious job to toggle through the screens with the lack of the touch screen, and it's not the most intuitive to use, but I do love the size. It's ideal for following pre-planned routes and has all the performance metrics that I need. Finally, squashies are essential for a quick sugary pick-me-up, and they're easy consumed and easy to carry on the bike, and they cost around £1.
Yes, I'm that guy that carries a Leatherman, not looped to my belt, I hasten to add. I'm really not that bad. Anyway, on longer rides, my Leatherman fuse lives in my backpack. It's been there for nearly 15 years now and has more than proven itself. As someone who carries a Leatherman, naturally, I come prepared and have a bike-specific multi-tool with me too. Like I said, I'm that guy. That'll see more action than this genuine dad spec tool, but on those rare occasions that Allen keys or tie levers just can't cut it, the Leatherman comes out. The pliers are brilliant for prizing gunky, neglected valve cores out, and I've pushed, prodded and pinched parts of free hubs back together, fixed bent spokes, disc rotors and rim dings. They've also worked on mangled brake pad springs, and I've even pulled and cut hydraulic hoses with them. The knife is yet to see any TLC, but remains just as sharp as the finest minds at BikeRadar. I'll be honest, as bikes have improved over time, I'm using it less and less to fix them. But, and this is where it excels, find a nice baguette that needs slicing and there's no finer, pocket-sized bit of kit to make your trailside sandwiches with. This might not be the fanciest Leatherman going or even have the most features, but it's more than paid for itself through the years of loyal service and remains in good nick to this day. It's slim, light and easy to carry, which is why it rarely leaves my pack. As for buying it, well, this one is a bit of an antique now, but I'm sure Leatherman will have something similar in their current range that's just as useful as this.
For me, it's the OneUp EDC Tool. This thing is super versatile. The little multi-tool itself has 7 Allen keys, a Torx T25 and a screwdriver, which is all you need for most adjustments. You can get it in the form of the EDC Lite, where it just pops into your bike steerer tube for easy access, or in full EDC form, as seen here, where it clips together with a tyre lever and a chain tool, with quick link storage and a spoke key. It's a bit fiddlier than just the multi-tool on its own, but it really widens your options. With this V2 version of the tool, you can use it in OneUp's new threadless carrier. There's still room for this little storage capsule on the bottom, or you can thread the steerer tube of your bike and take the capsule off and replace it with a CO2 canister. The V2 tool is easier to remove than the original two, and it has an improved chain tool and spoke keys. As far as I'm concerned, this thing has just one flaw, and that's the fact it doesn't include a CO2 inflator head. That's why I combine it with OneUp's EDC pump. That way you've got a pump for small pressure changes, or you can pull out the pump valve, screw it onto a CO2 canister and use it as an inflator if you need to reseat a tubeless tyre or just in a hurry.
I understand my Ride Essential misses the mark as I don't carry it with me on a ride. However, this little tool is an absolute necessity for every ride. A decent tyre pressure gauge is an essential piece of kit. Getting the correct tyre pressure will give you the best grip, control and comfort, not least protecting you against punctures. Too high or low tyre pressures can be dangerous, potentially causing damage to you or your pride and joy. Plus, wildly fluctuating pressures from one ride to the next will give you inconsistent handling and ride metrics if you measure them. While quality track pumps feature a decent pressure gauge, it's often difficult to get an accurate reading from the wide-ranging analog dials. I like this Lifeline digital gauge. It's reassuringly robust for its £13 price tag and is a decent size, making it easy to grip and use. The twisting head adds versatility and helps make the gauge easier to read. The light function is neat, both illuminating the screen and activating a small LED to help you see your valves in the dark. It would be improved by a bigger display. The gauge is leak-free and the pressure release buttons are easy to use. You can choose between PSI, bar, kilopascals or kilograms per centimetre squared. It will measure a maximum pressure of 160 psi with an accuracy of 0.1 psi. There are various modes, but I use the adjustment mode, which gives live pressure readings when bleeding air. It fits both Schrader and Presta valves too. While it fit in a pack, it's a bit too bulky to be pocket friendly. If you aren't already, consider checking your tyre pressures before every ride to give you the best riding experience.
We've all seen those epic photos of racers covered in mud and grime taking a swig from their equally disgusting bottles. But outside of the race tapes, there's no excuse for ingesting dirt via your bottle. Not only is it gritty and not exactly tasty, if you're a regular rider through UK countryside, you're likely to encounter some even less friendly filth as you go. CamelBak's Podium Dirt Series bottles are my absolute go-to these days. I have 2 of them, one insulated and one not. They feature a simple dirt-proof rubber cap that can be flicked off and back on again while the bottle is in the cage. CamelBak's bottles aren't the cheapest, but their shape, squeezability and lockable valves are amongst the best in the business, and the addition of the mud cap, also available separately, makes them a winner in my books. We all know how vital fueling is on your ride. To keep your legs spinning and arms controlling the bars, a precise blend of carbohydrates, fats, sugars and proteins are required. Getting such a specific mix down your throat can be a struggle, especially as most energy foods taste pretty rank. As such, my favourite ride snack with around 600 delicious calories is the humble Peshwari Naan. Picked up from your local takeaway the night before, your nutrition is perfectly stored in heat and grease-proof packaging, while the food delivers a punch in the energy stakes. The delicious sweet filling with its desiccated coconut and raisins delivers a quick sugary hit. The more complex bready carbs keep the good times rolling, while the exterior oils keep you full, ensuring that you're not craving empty calories just minutes later.
So there you have it, a selection of ride essentials we really couldn't do without. If you enjoyed this video, please drop us a like and make sure to subscribe. And let us know your ride essentials by leaving a comment below. And if you want to keep feasting your eyes on awesome kit, then check out this video next. I'm pointing to the correct side, aren't I? Yeah, you can go inside. I think Max has been messing with me. He's like, no, the other side. I'm like, oh no. Oh right, okay. Thanks, Max.